Galen of Pergamon became the most influential physician in history, not because he was right about everything, but because he was prolific, systematic, and wrote with the confidence of certainty. As physician to the gladiators of Pergamon, he gained direct experience of wounds, muscles, and bones that few physicians ever matched. Human dissection was forbidden in Rome. Galen worked with animals, primarily Barbary apes, which he believed were anatomically similar to humans. They are not identical, and this led to errors that persisted for 14 centuries. But Galen's systematic approach to anatomy, dissect, observe, record, was groundbreaking. Galen rose to become physician to emperors, Marcus Aurelius, Commodus, and Septimius Severus. His position gave him resources, authority, and the leisure to write. He produced over 2 million words of medical text, more than any ancient author. His sheer volume meant his errors were preserved alongside his insights. Galen unified Greek medical knowledge into a comprehensive system. He synthesized Hippocrates, Plato, and Aristotle into a single framework, adding his own experimental observations. The four humors became his central theory. His system was so complete, so internally coherent, that physicians saw no need to look further for over 1,000 years. Rome's greatest medical contribution may have been institutional rather than intellectual. The Romans built hospitals, valetudinaria, initially for soldiers, later for civilians. They constructed sewers, aqueducts, and public baths. Public health infrastructure saved more lives than any physician. Rome proved that medicine was also engineering. Galen's experimental work was genuinely impressive. He demonstrated that arteries carry blood, not air, contradicting centuries of belief. He showed that the voice depends on specific nerves by cutting them in a living pig to silence it. He was doing experimental physiology. His conclusions were sometimes wrong, his methods were modern. Galen's theriac became the most famous drug in history, a compound of 64 ingredients including opium, used as a universal antidote and cure-all. Physicians continued prescribing it until the 18th century. Its longevity illustrates the power of Galenic authority. If Galen prescribed it, it must work. The fall of Rome was a medical catastrophe. The aqueducts fell into disrepair. The public baths closed. The systematic hospitals declined. Life expectancy dropped. Disease flourished. Medicine had advanced because of Roman institutions, and retreated when those institutions collapsed. Public health depends on civilization, not just physicians. Galen's texts survived through Arabic. Islamic scholars, Hunayn ibn Ishaq and others, translated the Greek medical corpus into Arabic in the 8th and 9th centuries. They preserved, transmitted, and extended Galenic medicine. When medieval Europe rediscovered classical knowledge, it came back largely through Arabic translations of Galen. In medieval European universities, Galen was taught as unchallengeable truth. Professors read Galen aloud while surgeons demonstrated on corpses. If what the surgeon found contradicted Galen, the surgeon was assumed to be wrong. For over 1,000 years, observation was subordinated to the authority of a 2nd-century Roman physician. The challenge came in 1543. Andreas Vesalius, dissecting human cadavers, found over 200 errors in Galen's anatomy, the inevitable result of Galen working from apes rather than humans. Vesalius published De Humani Corporis Fabrica. The authority of Galen began to crack. It took another century to fully collapse. The printing press spread Galenic medicine across Europe at the same moment Vesalius was disproving it. Thousands of copies of Galen in Latin circulated in universities. The very technology that would accelerate scientific revolution first cemented the authority of a physician who had been dead for 1200 years. From the gladiatorial arena where Galen learned anatomy, to the imperial court where he wrote, to Islamic scholars who preserved him, to medieval universities that worshipped him, to Vesalius who finally proved him wrong. Galen dominated medicine for 14 centuries, a record of influence that no scientist before or since has matched. I am Takku. Galen's genius preserved medicine for centuries, yet his unchallenged authority eventually halted its progress. Subscribe to Wisdom of Takku, because even brilliance must be questioned.